Pennsylvania Farm Show is just 5 days away, and I'm joined live by Dairyman Dave, the president of the Pennsylvania Dairymen's Association. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Oh, I'm flattered to be here. Great to be here.
This is a big time. We were just talking about it at the commercial break. This is a staple event. It is a tradition in this area. Everybody looks forward to it. But talk a little bit more about it. You know, everybody thinks about the milkshakes, but it's much more than that. So tell us a little
Well, the Pennsylvania Farm Show is an institution in Pennsylvania, and it's a celebration of agriculture, and it's agriculture and an intersection with consumers, and consumers can go there and see so much about agriculture. There's a lot of youth exhibits and a lot of livestock exhibits, and man, there's a lot of food there too.
There's a lot of food. We like that too. Well, you know, Lancaster County, from what we know, is a top dairy producer in the United States. So what do folks need to know about the importance of dairy, not only what it plays here in the state, but across the country?
Well, absolutely. You know, Pennsylvania ranks number 8 in the nation as far as milk production, and Lancaster County is like in the top 10 in the nation as far as a county for milk production. So, you know, it's very important. Agriculture and dairy are very important to our economic development here in the state, because it creates a lot of multiplier effect on jobs and opportunities in Pennsylvania. Yeah. So agriculture is like the #1 industry in Pennsylvania, and it drives a lot of our businesses and creates a lot of jobs.
Yeah, and how does the farm show, how is it able to showcase that when folks come? How can they see that?
Well, one of the things is the farm show is a lot about youth development, and there's a lot of youth there from Lancaster County and a lot of other counties that take their animals and their livestock to the farm show to exhibit. Yeah. And in order to do that, they develop skills about caring for those cattle and those livestock. And they develop skills for the next generation of farmers.
Yeah, but you know, isn't it interesting? A lot of people don't know where their milk comes from, right? I mean, a lot of people, you go to the store, you get it in that milk cart, and people aren't thinking about the cow. So how does the farm show take away some of that stigma and help people to be able to see the whole process, the entirety of it?
Absolutely, and that's very important for us as farmers to make that connection with our consumers. And one of the ways you can do something there is because there's a lot of farmers there and exhibitors. And it's an opportunity where people can ask questions. Something that the Dairymen's Association helps to sponsor and run at the farm show is called the Calving Corner, and it's an area where we have local dairy farms in Pennsylvania that bring their cattle to the farm show, and there's like each farm, there's 4 farms that bring their cattle to the Calving Corner. They bring 4 pregnant animals there, and if people attend the farm show at the right time, and who knows, Mother Nature, you know, is different in every way, there is a possibility that they may see the miracle of a birth of a baby calf there at the farm show. It's been an incredible exhibit where people are able to make the connection with the farmers and see what happens on the farm every day. And myself, coming from a farm background, it's something that sometimes our farmers take for granted about that miracle of birth, and it's just an opportunity for farmers to share that miracle with a lot of other people that have never seen something like that.
Well, having done it for so long, when you then get to see people take part in this process, do you see their eyes light up? Because it's like, who gets to see that on a day-to-day basis if you're not on a farm?
It is absolutely awesome and impressive. And one of the things I've noticed is that when you see the miracle of a birth of a baby calf or an animal like that, you're watching that process. And for some of my farmer friends and myself, I've told people that at the farm show, if this happens, I asked them, I said, don't watch the birth because you've seen that before, but watch the expressions of the people that are experiencing that have never had that experience before, which is very special.
Yeah, it must be amazing. And I know we're wrapping up here. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you about the milkshakes. You know, everybody is coming to the farm show and everybody wants a milkshake, but what makes these milkshakes so great?
Well, it's a great product, but very importantly is that every shake supports a cause. Our Dairymen's Association is a nonprofit organization, and over the last 9 years, the sales of milkshakes around this mid-state have resulted in us giving back over $4.5 million back into our communities, and agriculture, next generation development, a lot of programs.
So you're getting something good and making a good difference. Too.
It's a pretty cool job when we can make people smile with a milkshake, and then we have some money that we can give back to some programs. Pretty cool.
Listen, some money and some good milkshakes is never a bad combination.
Absolutely.
It's never bad. Well, Dave, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming in and looking forward to seeing you at the
Thank
farm
you.
show.
Hope you see you at the farm show next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.